I was actually shocked by how it's been 2 years since I made a celebrity review video. In other words, I choose a celebrity and I describe them. I talk about what they mean to me or what I opine about their work or how they present themselves. And I am excited to talk about today's subject because this is a person who deserves to be talked about more often, but for some reason, no one in my social circle ever mentions her. And this is Christina Aguilera. I think she has amazing vocals. I think her range is incredible. I think that she has a great deal of control over her voice. It doesn't matter what register she is on, she can belt. Some people, of course, online will mention her when they try to have one of those competition kind of polls, like who has the best whistle register, who has the best, possibly a cappella kind of performance. And for me, Christina Aguilera sounds great even when there is no instrumental accompaniment. One of the things that I like about her is that her music seems to survive the test of time. I listened to some of the tracks from her stripped album, and I think that to me, that is legit pop. Pop that's fun. I'm not necessarily wild about the lyrics like usual, but at least they don't particularly make me cringe quite as bad as some others that I have listened to. I remember that from the stripped album, even the intro to it was pretty fun and the outro to it was equally fun. I want to say that Infatuation is probably my favorite song from the album because I absolutely love her harmony parts. I just cannot believe that they don't talk about her more often, they being everybody. I think that her live performances tend to go very well as well. And I feel like when it comes to overall song that demonstrates her abilities, recently I have to say Twice, because the song Twice has a lot of backing vocals, and you guys know that my bias is always going to be about harmonies because that's my favorite part of vocals. But I think that it is broken up in a really, really cool way. And I find myself singing along to the harmony more than what the main part is saying. And I just like how her songs, the way she sings, it's what I wish Beyonce would be, which is she has firmness to her voice, but it's so freaking dynamic that it doesn't bore me. She can be soft, she can be very like a powerhouse when she's belting out there, but she can also keep a tone that's steady and it doesn't sound angry. Even when she's doing that little bit of a voice effect where it sounds like she's grunting or growling a little bit like ah, like it doesn't sound angry to me. It just sounds like she is using that to bridge to something greater. I don't know how to describe it. I hate that I'm not very good at describing vocals and sounds and stuff like that, but I just know that Christina's way of vocalizing never comes off to me as boring, monotone, or angry. And she really can prove that she can sustain notes no matter what range she is in. I'm not sure if she composes her own music. I would think she does some, whereas other artists that are from the pop genre, I tend to associate them as okay, you are the face of the music, but this is not your music. You're not really being the composer of these. Christina has this song that messed me up because I could relate to it, and it was called called I'm Okay. And basically, she's talking trash about her dad. And I'm like, holy shit. The lyrics to that song 100% feel like I collabed with her at writing it. So if you guys want to bring yourself down a little bit, maybe don't listen to the song. The singing is great. For me personally, sometimes it tears me up if it plays on my playlist. But if you want to, just look up the lyrics and you'll completely understand why. I feel like one of the songs that it's a little bit overplayed in some instances is Beautiful. It's a good song, but I hate that I'm kind of saturated from it because it's been played pretty much everywhere. Fighter is not annoying a song. I don't think it's been as overplayed as Beautiful has been. But yeah, I think Christina is definitely underrated. That little collab that she did with Demi Lovato for shit, what was the name of that song? I forgot the name of that song. Let me look it up. I know how it goes. Fall in Line. That was the name of that freaking song. That's not a bad song, but I think I didn't enjoy it as much because I'm selfish about Christina. I like for her to be by herself. But also, the lyrics to that song kind of disappointed me because I don't know if you guys remember. Shit, did I even make it around to doing this topic? But do you guys remember me ever saying something about how one line from that song that inspired a topic for me was I get a right to speak my mind. It was basically a song about women, and it starts off with little girls listen closely because you deserve to know this and this and the other. And I'm like, what is happening in Hollywood? What is Hollywood doing to these women to where I just do not tend to agree very much with their feminist movement? Like, what are y'all fighting for? For instance, listen to this. They go, little girls, listen closely because no one told me, but you deserve to know that in this world you're not beholding. You do not owe them your body and your soul. Why do you need someone to tell you that? It's so inherent. All the youth in the world will not save you from growing older, and all the truth in the girl is too precious to be stolen from her. All the truth in the girl. Unfortunately, I have experiences with people inventing a truth as opposed to living the truth, and that's the part that worries me sometimes. When you say all the truth in the girl, like, you mean her version of the truth, or the truth is the truth of the girl? Because let's face it, everybody lies at some point. Some people manipulate things. And I'm just saying that if you're inventing a truth to make yourself look more victimized or more deserving of something, then that's shady for me. So that's the part where I'm like, I'm never gonna worship any of these celebrities. I can respect and express that their talent is worthy of my attention, like it brings me joy and whatnot, but there's no way that I can be like, Christina Aguilera is my mom. Like some people out there be treating celebrities like they're their parents. Like, what? These people don't even know you exist. It's just the way it is. Maybe it's never gonna change, but I got a mind to show my strength and I got a right to speak my mind. Yeah, you have a right to speak mind. Literally nobody is stopping you from speaking your mind. I know nobody is stopping me from speaking my damn mind. Those are the things that I mean. Now, if you're trying to say that sometimes you want to speak your mind, but you're in a situation or an environment that doesn't support it, that's different. But it doesn't mean that anybody is actively stopping you. Like, society is not out here trying to shut you up. Quite the contrary. You speaking up is being promoted. But what I'm trying to say is, for instance, you ever date somebody who you would rather stay quiet with because if you talk to them about serious thing, they tend to be grown up children and they get offended and overreactive, and it's god awful to have that kind of discussion with them. Been there, done that. If this is what she's saying, that she's saying something like, well, I have a right to speak my mind, even if you get offended, even if you react violently, whatever the fuck, then I can understand and empathize with that. But if you're trying to say that women inherently don't have rights in this society, don't tell me in the comments. Try going to name of a country that has some bullshit like Sharia law that does not apply to us. So we're not having that discussion. We're not in this society, we're not fighting for them, right? Because that's not a problem we have. So don't try to tell me, well, you wouldn't be saying that if you were a woman somewhere else, because I'm not a woman from somewhere else. As an American, that's not a problem that I have to concern myself with. So as an American, I'm expressing myself based on the things that I see and experience and observe my country doing. Some people just really love to argue by bringing up someone or somewhere completely irrelevant in an effort to invalidate what someone is saying. But in the end, if you ask me, they're just shooting themselves in the foot. But that's what I mean. If you were to tell me, Christina and Demi, that you are a natural born from one of those places and that you are singing out of those experiences where you were deprived of your words and expressing yourself, sure, you got me. You're right. You have a right to speak your mind because you're a human being with complex thoughts that deserve to be heard. But when you're in this country, when you're from this country and this is what you have experienced, like, come on, sis. And I think that Christina is supposed to be like half Hispanic, I think from her dad's side. But I don't believe that she like grew up somewhere else. I think that this is her culture. Like US culture is where she grew up at. So where is this coming from? Like where did you experience the lyrics to this? But maybe it is possible that maybe she has done an interview to describe what inspired these lyrics, because sometimes that's a thing. Amy Lee of Evanescence, I always misinterpret her lyrics. I thought that the song Sick was about her being mad at someone she was dating, but I think it was her being mad at one of her producers or managers or some shit. And then she was like, I'm sick of it all. And I'm like, oh shit. Like for me, the way that I took that song is I can be mad at someone and this song is perfect for me, especially someone from a personal, private life. With this, though, because this song came out at a time when, like, we had a lot of feminist stuff going on. I think this was like 2018. Then there's that part of me that's like a little suspicious about what inspired this, but also Demi has tendencies of coming out with things like that, so who was the influence here? But Christina, I just usually associate her more self-centered, talking more about her feminine side. And I guess I can appreciate that because hey, I'm that person who I have my songs and I get really invested in my music, and it's nice to hear a girl expressing thoughts that I know that I have, but I don't necessarily manifest. See what I mean? But yeah, I think that Christina has very good music, and if you're someone who wishes to explore more retro pop music that isn't annoying and, if you ask me, ages well, I would say Christina Aguilera has you. She would be my choice. And even though her stripped album is from like the year 2000, 23 years later, I still jam out to it. Probably appreciate it even more than back in the day, because at least in the present, pop music doesn't really intrigue me. So to have something from back then that I can recur to and be like, although this is super retro, it's not cringe, then I think you're doing good. Well, you guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you know about Christina, what is your opinion about her? Vocally, lyrically, musically. I've never honestly observed her performing live. I have heard her voice, but I'm not sure she's a dancer. I would imagine she is, because I feel like I saw a clip of her from like the early 2000s when she was promoting her CDs. So I think it's possible she does dance as well. In more recent times, I just remember listening to her more than watching anything about her. I'm not sure that I could make a fair comparison her as a dancer in the event she does dance, because I'm not aware. And for the effect of what I wanted to describe in this video, I wanted to focus on the things that I do know her for, which is her vocals more than any other artistry she may have going on. All right, you guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.